Hi, everyone. This is Toni Weel, and today we are starting a new podcast that we like to call Divine Feminine Energy. And I will tell you how I got to this, because my work as a regenerative detox specialist and healing practitioner, trained by Dr. Morse, that brought me in contact with many, many beautiful, really beautiful people, and most are women. Yeah, we're the caregivers, aren't we? Well, our 1 hour conversations often turned out to be even to even 3 hours. And the more I learned, the more I amazed I was about the powerful energy and knowledge that they all have to share. So that's where the idea came from to do these podcasts because they have so much to share. And I am so grateful to be able to connect with them. So with this being the first of our series, I say our because I would like to introduce Monique Blank from the Netherlands, who is a recent graduate from Dr. Morse's International School of Regenerative Detoxification. Yeah, it's a long word. And she is not only a very knowledgeable Dr. Morse practitioner now, but she's also a friend and a very highly appreciated. So Monique, tell us a little bit more about how you got started and guided into this work of helping and healing people.
Well, hello, Tony. It's so wonderful to do this together with you because you have so much knowledge and you're such a beautiful, kind, and generous soul. Um, how I got guided to do this? Well, that's interesting and it could fill a whole show, but we won't go into that. But I've done a lot in the past, like being a Reiki master, doing aura and chakra readings and healings. Um, and I did some detour in the traditional business environment and then ended up on the couch thinking, what am I supposed to do actually in life with all the knowledge I've gained and all the passion I have for food over the years? And then you came along all of a sudden out of the blue, and it made it so clear that um, Dr. Moore's teachings fall so correctly into place with all the other knowledge that I have gained over a lifetime. So that's why I'm here. That's why we are here. And I love it. I love every minute of my new life, so to speak.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It always surprises me how we all get to connect with each other. How it's like we're just attracting it. It's all people in a higher frequency or well on their way getting there. And I meet people that know more than I do about certain things. And one of these people is actually Jeanette Deganis. I hope I pronounced that well, Jeanette.
Oh, you did.
With Monique and I both being Dutch sometimes,
Yeah.
I mess it up a little. Well, from Jeanette told me that has been involved into various aspects of healing and is actually a certified natural healing, a Reiki master, ordained healing master, and also a certified hospice specialist, working with end of life transition. And I know she has been doing that for many, many years. And I'm sure she guided people along to their next transition. But what intrigued me even more was her knowledge about astrology and how that actually affects our health, how it fits into our health. I've always been interested in astrology since I was a teenager. And yeah, we we read the horoscopes and have fun with it and don't believe a word they're saying, but it always sounded good, in the various magazines and newspapers we read it in. but there is way more to it. And Jeanette has already told me so much that I was like, oh my God, she has to be our first guest. She has so much information about the things that are going on in what is going to happen, that it's very important for people to hear this. So Jeanette, please add to what you have to tell more about yourself, what I left out. And yeah, she also, I have to say this, she also told me that she, at a young age, learned that true health comes from good nutrition and our relationship to ourselves and Mother Earth, and also the understanding of our place in the universe. So this is beautiful. So Jeanette, please tell us.
Oh, thank you, Toni. It's such a pleasure. I thank you from my heart to yours for bringing us all together. And I'm hoping that each soul that's on here today will be able to get something for themselves from all the things we're sharing. As you mentioned earlier, I started out many years ago working in a traditional medicine. I started out actually delivering babies in the case room, and then worked in the operating room where I saw so much suffering, people coming in with lobectomies and heart attacks and et cetera, et cetera. And I knew that there was a better way. I knew that this was not meant to be this suffering. So then I went on to study many various fields of healing in holistic healing. I studied in Boulder, Colorado with Hannah Kroger, and studied as a natural healing therapist working with energy, which everything is energy in our universe. And then from there, I was an ordained healing minister. And also for the last 45 years, I have been working as a hospice specialist, helping others to make their transition. So from birth to suffering to death, it gave me a big awareness of our life here and our purpose and why we are here. And so I'm hoping, I'm always working as well as each one of you, because as long as we're here and we're still in a physical body, we have to learn lessons. So right now we're on a journey of awakening the soul. And my work is to assist humanity on its journey of evolution and awakening. We are in a very critical time of our evolution as human beings. And many of us are being called to understand how we can change the world and life on earth for ourselves and our brothers and our sisters. Understanding of your soul and healing all wounds and forgiveness heals our karma. And who is your soul? Your soul is your pure divine essence. It is the part of you that has ability to heal all conditions, love unconditionally, and serve humanity, and create greatness, including world peace. I've worked also and studied astrology for the last 55 to 60 years, learning how our chart and is the birth of our life. And also that the astrology will give us indications of our bodies. Each sign has different body parts. And also we're all connected to the Mother Earth and the elements, and how these elements are affecting us and our health here on the earth. Now there's a great deal to go into because astrology is very, very deep. And as I said, there's much to learn. But on our journey with Toni and Monique, I will share with you the different signs for the different seasons, which will include what that sign is about and all your body parts, the elements, foods, herbs, colors, oils, essential oils, and many other modalities interesting in the physical body. So as we journey into these sessions once a week or whenever we're going into it, I will go in more depth about it. And I'll talk a little bit later today about Virgo, which is the sign we are in now as we leave the summer season and go into the fall season. Thank you. And we'll talk later about other details. But that's a little bit about myself, and I could go on more, but I've talked enough there to share. Hopefully you'll see and understand. At this time in my life, I'm ready to share all my knowledge and all of my past experiences to all those out there who would like to learn and help themselves on their journey, as we are all doing this together as a family.
Jeanette, I'm just hearing, thank you for this wonderful explanation already. I'm mesmerized. And Toni tells she has always been intrigued by astrology. I have this love-hate relationship with astrology, so it's going to be quite interesting, the three of us.
Yes.
From what I hear is that this is going to be multiple sessions, because if we going through the 12 signs, it's too much for one session, and I think we'll be here still around midnight. I do think that I'm not sure if you have prepared that, but just to give everybody a glimpse of what every sign means or has to offer, that would be nice, because then people who are not a Virgo but are maybe a Leo and end up in this beautiful circle also stay tuned. I'm not sure if that's an idea, but if not, then that's also fine for me.
Well, Monique, many people do not really truly understand astrology because it's a very deep and philosophical subject. But astrology is actually nature and working with the cycles and the 4 elements. And so I do not want to go into it real deep in the beginning. I want to just explain it very simply, and how I'm going to do that, as I mentioned, where we're now in the late summer, coming into the fall, it is the sign of Virgo. And I would like to go more into that particular one during this particular time, so you have a good understanding what it's all about, because Virgo, the sign of the feminine earth mother, it rules the earth because it's an earth sign. It's a sign of service and of help. And it begins the harvest season when the fruits of the earth are gathered. And this is a busy time of the year, and it symbolizes the diligence of the Virgo worker. And the earth goddess was common to all cultures. She represented the earth and its feminine power. Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury, which shows the strong mental quality. We have 2 planets that rule the mind. One is Mercury, which rules the lower mind, and Uranus, which rules the higher mind, which is the spiritual mind. As I said, it's very deep, but once we start explaining the signs and the different body parts, I feel that each person will be open to it, because we are now shifting into the age of Aquarius, and Aquarius rules astrology. And it's the age of humanitarians and oneness. We have just come from the Piscean age, the past 22,000 years, which was the age of religion and suffering. And we have never had an opportunity in this lifetime, as we have now, to be able to release all our old past karma and in the past of many, many lifetimes. Some of us have been here thousands and thousands of lifetimes in a physical form. And so now this is the first time. So we're giving this opportunity, and we're getting so much help from the spirit world and the higher dimensions.
Jeanette, is this what you meant with the changes in energy, and that why people right now are the way they are? Because
Yes.
we are seeing so many weird things in way more aggression in people, but also way more people waking up to what is truly going on.
Yes, what is happening out in the form of the third dimension matrix, which is the earth plane, what is happening on the third dimension is that all the old negativity and anything that hurt or did harm to one another is all coming to the surface. People can no longer hurt other human beings or any life form, or they cannot lie or steal or cheat, because this was all done. We have another energy that's been controlling us for eons, and now this is going to, we have the dark and we have the light, and we are light workers, and we come from a source of love, and we are love. But what has happened, we've been separated from our God self, which is love, because of the programming that we came into with a group of other entities who wanted to control the human race. And now we have to dismantle all that old programming and darkness, so that we can bring in and create our new world, which is the Aquarian age, a world where we're know who we are. There's no one going to harm us or harm others or steal or lie. So we're breaking down all the old structures of the medical system, the school systems, the political systems. All of these things did not work for all of humanity. They only worked for a few people. And it was all because of greed and money. That can no longer happen. The light workers who are here now, such as ourselves, have come in to be here for this particular time. And encoded in within us, we know what we are to do and what we are to bring, each one of us. And anyone listening to this is also a Christed child and a child of light. So we must now transmute all this lower energy, and it's coming up to be healed. Pluto, which is the water planet, is the planet that's bringing all this up to the surface. Pluto gets way down deep into the center and brings all the lies, the stealing, the killing, anything that is not of the light. So this is all coming up. So out in the third dimension world, it looks really and is chaotic and very, very fear-based. But we must keep going into our hearts. We must remember who we are, and we must go with nature, do things that keep us calm and keep asking for guidance. There are many, many people who are going through some very stressful times. So the more that we can raise our own energetic energies, we must be on a vibration of 25 or higher. If not, we're in the dense, dark energies. So it's very important now to have ways of doing that. Playing beautiful music that touches your heart, holding your pets or a baby, going to nature, hugging a tree. All these things are extremely important to connect to our God self, because we've been so programmed and we've been so separated.
Just to make clear for everyone who's listening, you're talking about 25 or higher. What is 25?
It's a vibration of our energy. And I don't know if any of you do dowsing, but you can test your energy field by dowsing. Do you do dowsing, any of you?
No.
Actually, somebody has to explain to me what dowsing is, because I think that's a lack in my English vocabulary right now.
Yeah, dowsing is you use a pendulum.
Okay.
And your subconscious mind works with the pendulum. It takes a little practice, but once you get used to it.
I know how to work with a pendulum, Jeanette. So
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the word oozing. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you just keep asking your pendulum in your own energy field. What is my energy field? Is it
Okay.
10?
And it needs to be 25 and higher.
It should be up higher. Yes, you want to keep.
Okay. But
Yeah.
just for everybody, because I'm not sure if everybody heard about it, but I know about the Hertz frequency, but I didn't hear about the 25. What's up to 25? You have scales, I assume.
Well, you can have it higher. I just mentioned that.
Okay.
Because you don't want to go down below.
Okay.
But it can be much higher as well.
Okay. And I have another question, because it is interesting. I had a discussion the other day about us transitioning into a new era, and that we will be living this era from the heart and from our love. And the other person was saying, yeah, but it will take ages before that will happen. What's your view on that? Will it take ages, or
no?
Will it change rapidly because our energy and our energy bodies and fields are adjusting more rapidly to the higher vibrations, and
what
awakens people more into their heart frequency? That's why it makes it the transition far more faster than probably you and I had our transition into this type of energy fields.
Yes, you're absolutely right about the heart. That is where we are going to be able to get all of our answers, because what has been happening over eons, we have been in the ego, and the ego has been controlling humanity for a long time. And the ego, of course, is something that always wants us to be in pain and suffering and eventually death. And if we're not in our God self mind, in love, then we are always controlled by the ego. But coming into the new age is going to be, as you said, heart. It will be opening the heart, because many of us had our hearts closed with heartache or hurt or disappointment, so on and so forth. But the more now that we raise our energy vibration, the more we can look at a flower like a rose. Roses are the highest vibration of love on the planet. And when somebody is making their transition from the physical body to the spiritual body, we put a rose on their heart chakra, because this rose has the highest vibration of love. So every day, if we can, it's nice if we have 1 rose, 2 roses, or 3, whatever it might be, in our environment. They are very, very, they're the most highest vibration of love on the planet. And our heart, visualize your heart as a rose petal and visualize it opening, and visualize the color pink or emerald green, and visualization. Our minds are so powerful, and there are techniques we can do to help open our hearts. And the more people awaken, the quicker we'll be able to be in the heart. That is how it works. It doesn't work overnight, but it can work overnight. The more that you and I raise our energy and we're functioning from unconditional love for all life, the more we can help others. We don't have to do anything. We just have to be this energy out there vibrating from a high level of unconditional love. And we will heal, and others will heal with us. So as each one of us starts to do this, then we can heal very, very quickly. It does not have to take a long time. The time is now for each of us to shine a little brighter.
I think a very important topic needs to come in here too, and that is the aspect of food. Because we will not be able to get to that point when we are still eating meat or any animal products. So a big part of that change in getting into a higher frequency is also eating more alkaline food.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're not getting there. And I can get to my own experience, which was actually totally unexpected. And that was when I started to eat all raw and about 90% fruit, was how different I start to feel. And how many more people with that same higher frequency, I wasn't even aware that was a higher frequency, but with that same higher frequency came into my life. And it is just one after the other, and it is amazing. And for me, that was what the food that started it. It was not that I went out into nature and realized, you know, I had to make a change. The change for me was changing the food, and then everything was coming in, including realizing the beauty of a spider. Well, as long as it's not on my hand and on the plant, I'm okay with that. But but the butterfly, and you mentioned the roses. Even as a child, I was, roses, that was always it. I always had to have roses. And now I actually have another blooming rose outside my house, a red one.
Beautiful.
And this is with the roses, there is something interesting, is they have this amazing smell. It is soft, it is beautiful, it embraces you. It's like, it's just beautiful. And are you aware, well, you probably are, that the roses nowadays have no smell anymore? You know, just like nothing is
Unless
there.
you, excuse me, Toni, if you grow your own, I have, not my own garden, but my friend's garden, the roses smell, they're incredible. The ones you buy do not, because it's commercial. And they don't care about you or me, they only care about money. So when you're buying them in a business, they perhaps do not have much smell. But if you grow them yourself, they are beautiful. The ones here are insanely scented. And you can also take rose petals and make rose water.
Oh, yeah.
And
I have
dilute
done
that.
that.
You can dilute it, you can dilute it with a little bit of other water and a couple of essential oil rose drops, and you can keep that and spray it in your home. It just gives you such a beautiful energy. You can spray the rose water in your home. And there's many different, I can go into many different things, into the essential oils and so on and so forth. These are things that are really dear to my heart, but everything that we need to heal us mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually come from Mother Earth. The foods, the herbs, the trees give us the breath of life. Everything is out there. We've just been so disconnected by the programming of the other energy that has taken us away. And when you mention food, we have to test our food with the vibration, because all processed food is dead food. It's not going to keep us healthy. We need live food from the earth. And as you mentioned, the beautiful fresh juices and fruit trees and berries and all of these beautiful, they come from Mother Earth, but they have been so commercialized and people have been wanting money that they don't care. You have to be from a source of a farmer or do it yourself, where you know the people care about us, the people, and the earth. If it's only for money, whether it's in a health food store or any store, it will not help you physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually.
Well, I sure hope it helps a little, because oftentimes that's the only thing that we have access to. Not everybody can grow it yet or go out to a farmer. So I have been healing on fruit that I had to buy from the produce section in the supermarkets.
No,
Me
the
too.
fruits
too.
would be fine in the supermarket. I'm talking, excuse me, maybe I misunderstood myself. I was talking about processed food and
Yeah.
food, those types of foods. But if you, we all are in this same position where we sometimes have to go to a market, a supermarket, because we have no other choice. But again, we can bless our food and be thankful. Those are all, you know, it will bring we are the ones who are bringing the energy to the food.
Well, actually, I always give my clients the tip to keep the food close to your heart and bring the food into your vibration, so that the food, wherever you buy it, whether it's organic or not, can
Yes.
adjust to your vibration and
Yes.
can nurture and strengthen and enhance you.
Yes.
And it's so incredible. If you do this simple thing, it really changes the vibration of whatever type of food, whether you bought it in a supermarket, which is, like Charlie Frick calls it, death market. It really brings it alive.
That's so beautiful, Monique. You are absolutely right. It's our vibration, our thinking that's going to make the difference.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we forget we're so powerful.
Yeah.
We can, even if we eat, sometimes we are humans in a physical body. We feel like a treat, not all the time to abuse our body. But if we have that treat, sometimes we have to be very careful, because we can get very much set in one way. But if we just realize, as long as we're not doing it every day, abusing our body with sweets, if we have it for a celebration or sometime, we thank our body and we thank the food and we bless it, it's not going to harm us. It's only when we're critical of it and we judge it. So we have to be very careful, because really our thoughts are really creating our reality.
Agree. And there's another aspect as well, I think. It's something we all are able to learn, is to love ourselves. And being critical when we have eaten something which might be entitled not healthy, is actually not loving yourself.
Right on.
If you eat something that's say not healthy, but you enjoy it, the vibration is different for your body, and it's more easier to digest as well than when you start feeling guilty about what you have eaten.
Oh, most definitely. This is things that, as we talk through our these situations, there is so much. It's not just the one thing. There's many aspects of it. How we, with the eating, at the moment, there's a lot of emotional eating, because people, when you're under fear of, or any kind of stress, people are eating we have to go into many different aspects, because people are under these pressures. They're eating more emotional, they're drinking more, they're overworking more, they're doing it. And we have to get back, as you said earlier, I really appreciate hearing your voice. It's very encouraging. We must first love ourselves above all, above everything. We have to remember that we are love, and we're all here on this journey. This journey is not about anyone else. It's a self journey. And we have to go inside and ask ourselves, where did these feelings come from? Or why do I have them? And we've all come from different backgrounds. Some of us have been very blessed. If we were blessed to be loved unconditional as a child, if we haven't, we're still dealing with a lot of those emotions. So we've got to get to the bottom of a lot of things. It's not just one thing. It doesn't fit all. So we can start, there's many different things. We can start with the astrology. We can go on into the mental, the mind, the thoughts. We can go into the emotional, how we deal with the emotions. And we can go into the physical and the spiritual. So we have a lot to share. There's not just one thing, but as we share, it will relate, because people are wakening up. And whatever we feel in our heart at this moment to share, not one person has it all. We are all here together. Your gifts are very important. My gifts, Toni's gifts, and other people's gifts. We're all together. And so we don't all know it. We need each other.
Yes.
And what you have to share, I need to learn. What I have, you may need. So if we just go in it this way and realize that we are loving, kind, beautiful light beings, and we are very powerful. We've just been separated, and it's going to take time for us to get back to who we truly are, but it's about loving ourselves, and it's a very hard journey, because that's the whole journey here. If we don't love ourselves, we can do a whole workshop on self-love.
Yes.
I have it all. I've studied it all. I've learned it all. I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being. I have to learn every day of my life, and I work hard too. But whatever I have learned and gone through, I want to share it. I want to share it with others. If I can help in any way, if it's something I say or awaken something in someone, that's what it's all about. So we must share now. We must shine our light brighter, and we must be able to bring this light out to the world, so that as we all shine brighter and share our gifts, then that darkness cannot be there. The light will overcome it. We've been in the dark for a long time. We've been controlled. We've been controlled by many dark forces for many eons, and now we're coming out of that. And it's going to be very chaotic for a little while, and it will be very fearful for a lot of people if they haven't been working on their spiritual path. That's why it's so important.
But it is already chaotic, and it is already fearful. So in that respect, there is not really something new. The new thing might be that that we are going to a whole new way of living.
Yes, we're creating a new world. But before that, that's why we are connected now. There's no coincidence. The Creator knows our timing, and He has connected us together.
Yeah.
But the thing is now, it will take time, but there's no time is in the moment, in the present moment. And we just have to speak from our heart what we feel, so that we uplift whoever we can touch in any way. But the real thing that heals everything is love, above everything. If everyone could just love themselves, our world could change in an instant.
Jeanette, if we go back to the astrology part,
Yes.
would you say that people born under a different sign, that they experience what is going on differently despite what they're doing? So that from one person, their, well, you could call it mental health would be differently affected than another person.
Yes, because of their physiological body makeup. There's people experience it, like some people's nervous systems are more affected than others. Some mentally, yes, many different people will experience it in a different way. That's why it's very, very important to know your sun sign and your body parts, because there are certain herbs and essential oils and things that can help you with that.
Okay, the other thing that actually intrigued me, what you say with the pendulum, the dowsing in the 25, the number 25 in frequency, how would you do that? I know about a pendulum, but I think there are a lot of people who do not know about it. But how would you know about a certain number, or where your frequency is at?
You take your pendulum and you go from your crown chakra down to your third eye chakra. Make sure those are all open. Excuse me, I'm just going to turn this off for a moment. You go down through your chakras to make down to your throat chakra, your heart, and so on to your root, to make sure they're all open. If the pendulum has to swing clockwise, and make sure a lot of people's crown chakra is closed. And when your crown chakra is closed, you're not receiving anything from spirit. So you have to make sure that your chakras are open and clear. So you test all that. And if they are all clear, then you're usually in a very good vibration. But if you have a blocked chakra, like your heart or your solar plexus or your root chakra or whatever, then you've got to see why it's blocked, and you can neutralize it. It's quite a little technique with the pendulum, but to start off with, you have to get it used to your energy and ask the right kind of questions. But to start off with your vibration, I know your crown chakra is open. I know that, I feel it. So you take your pendulum and you say, can I ask this question, please? And my pendulum just goes straight up and down for yes, and across for no. And if it says yes, you ask, please tell me my energy vibration. Is it a 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever? You keep asking how much, and the pendulum will stop, and it will tell you which one it is.
Ah, I see. That is interesting. I have not tried that.
It may take you a couple of times to do it, because it's getting used to you if you haven't done it before, but you just keep asking what your vibration is. Is it a 5? Is it a 10? Is it a 15, 20? And keep asking.
And what would you use preferably as the pendulum?
Well, I have different pendulums. Mine, the stainless steel ones are very good if you can find them, but you can use anything. Some people even tie a crystal on a stone. You can take if you have a crystal and you have a chain.
Yes, that's me.
It depends on what you feel comfortable with.
Or you can use your necklace with maybe a cross on it.
Yes,
but
anything that's close to you with your energy. You want it to be cleansed. You want to make sure your whatever you're using is nice and it's cleansed from any kind of clear energy. But you can use anything personally that you have. Like Monique said, you could use a necklace or with a cross on it or a crystal on it. And then, or you can buy a pendulum at one of the metaphysical stores or anywhere online. You can use anything. Some people use even what do they use? Even anything at all, as long as it's with your energy and working with you. Because it takes, if you haven't been using a pendulum, it takes a little time to get used to, and after a while it just picks up everything. It's practice, practice, practice. Just
Jeanette,
go around
and get out of your head. That's important. Sorry, Toni. Get out of your head, because otherwise you influence the pendulum, and it's
exactly.
People always wonder, how exactly does a pendulum work? So it actually works on your own energy.
It works with our conscious, it works with our mind, energy. See, our thoughts are real things. They're real forces, and they manifest. So whatever we're thinking, that's real energy. So the thoughts we're putting out, we don't realize it, but nobody is making our life miserable or not or good. We are creating it all. So we must accept everything that we've gone through and everything that we are going through or will manifest, that we are the creators of our life. So why not create a miracle and a beautiful life? But because of old programming from other people and the media and who knows where else, we believed and these stories that weren't true, and now we got to deprogram everything that isn't working for us. But we do create everything in our lives. That's why we have to love everything. Because
Jeanette, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but did you want to go today in a little bit more into Virgo?
Yes, I can.
Because we have 10 minutes left. So.
Okay, I will do that, yes. Monique, do you have anything to say now, darling?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, actually, I was wondering the same thing as Toni was about the Virgo sign. And I'm not sure. Well, what comes to mind when trying to work with the pendulum and getting your thoughts out of the way, or your ego, some people would say, is to sit in front of that rose and to vibrate with that rose, and then start working with the pendulum, because then you already start to pick up a beautiful energy. And then see what it has to tell you.
Yes, it's energy. That's another class that I would like to teach is on energy, because it's a very simple way of doing it. Is you draw a big circle, and then like the moon, and you draw a circle, you draw a line in the middle, like the astrological chart. And you put everything down below the circle that drains your energy in your life. Just write everything down. And then up above the line, you write everything that brings you joy and brings your energy up. And then you start weeding out the things like a gardener. Weed the things out down below that drain your energy, and start bringing more things that bring you energy. That's a very good way to start with energy, because everything in our life that we have around us is energy. If you've got things around you that drain, every time you look at it, it's draining your energy, then you're better off to get rid of it. Let it go and release it. Everything around you that brings you energy up, like a beautiful bouquet of roses, or a pussycat, or something from nature like pussy willows, or a beautiful colored picture I have around me, these bring my energy way up.
Yeah.
But if I have something around me that doesn't, just let it go. We don't need that. So just observe what you have around you. If you have things that are bringing you down, just say, I'm letting you go. I release you now. And that's it.
True.
So
And it's programming. It's programming your LP or CD, whatever you prefer to call it. Because it's a groove. It's a repetitive groove, and it's also becoming aware of your negative grooves to reprogram it into a positive one.
Exactly. And the other thing we can do now, because the ego mind is really acting up and really wanting to keep us controlled, because we're working towards the light. And of course, the opposite to light is dark. And the opposite to faith is fear. Now, the ego is really, the dark forces are really working hard to keep us in fear and down. What I do with my thoughts that come up, and they come up big time, any kind of fear, I just say, you have no power here. Thank you for being here, but keep going. And I transmute them, and then I put a positive thought in. It takes constant awareness of what we're thinking. We have to constantly be aware of it, but we don't have to try to get rid of it, because you can't. You just, once you don't give it energy, it will disappear.
Agree.
Anything.
Sometimes it really helps to acknowledge the ego, because the ego is not all bad, you know.
No, we need
in a time of need or survival to get through it.
We just thank it.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be in the driver's seat all the time. Actually, our heart should be in the driver's seat.
Most definitely, Monique.
Yeah. I'm actually wondering, since we're going to talk about Virgo, and we have less than 10 minutes now, because Toni is watching the clock like a hawk.
There's so much to talk about.
I'm actually wondering, because we're in Virgo right now, this weekend, the energies were so intense and so in turmoil. Let's put it in a slightly positive way, because it was draining for me and exhausting.
You weren't alone, my darling.
I know. I had all sorts of clients asking me what's going on with me. I'm feeling bad, and I was like, oh no, it's just a collective thing. Is this something that's specifically for Virgo in this?
No, what was happening? It's a square we had in the planets. There's a square going on with Mars, and what's happening there, we're getting many downloads from the spirit world that is altering our DNAs now, and we're affecting us physically. And if we are still holding on to past karma and old thought forms, it's coming in to try to transmute these lower energies. And what we can call in now is the golden flame, the golden violet flame of light. We can ask Saint Germain and the masters of the Reiki higher masters to visualize from your heart chakra a golden violet flame of light, transmuting all the old energy. We can also send this out to other people and and our planet. I do it with a group. I have a group that I work with over the planet where we transmute lower energies with this beautiful golden violet flame. And then we have the lilac flame of source, and we have the rainbow violet flame. So we work with these. These are things I could go into later to help people to work with in their own life and in helping others as well. We're in this together. We're a family.
Yeah, no, true. And I think as well that an alkaline diet consisting of lots of fruits, living source from Mother Earth, is also helping us to transmute these older energies.
Definitely, definitely.
And it's quite important as well, because that food brings our vibration to a higher level and also helps to get things back online where we were shut off.
Well, it's the parasites, you see, inside of us that is causing the negativity and the fear base. So the lower the frequency of the food that we're eating, the more that will affect us. So as you said, the more we can alkaline our bodies with alkaline foods like raw and fresh juices and fruit from the earth, the less they have power. The parasites are what is causing all these problems, and we know that's from the dark, right?
Well, parasites are also a good thing, because they help to digest processed foods that our body can't digest on its own. So it's not all negative, but when you transition to an alkaline lifestyle or diet, then the parasites have no role anymore, and they try to control your brain.
Right. But the thing is, we must realize everything is working for our highest and greatest good. There's no judgment on anything in our life. Everything has a purpose. Whatever's in our life has a purpose, and it works together, for our highest and greatest good. But we don't have to be in the pain and the suffering if we do what we're supposed to do. And that's what we're all here to try to help each other, to bring whatever gifts God gave us to share. None of us have it all. None of us are perfect. We're just doing our best. But we have to always remember that we are divine love, and that love will heal everything. So whatever you love, you're free of it. Whatever you judge, you get more of.
Indeed.
So
and what about Virgo?
Okay, Virgo.
What about Virgo?
Here we go.
I'm curious. What about
Well,
Virgo?
Virgo is the sign. It's a nurse sign.
Mm-hmm.
The best day of the week for Virgo is Wednesday. So if you are wanting to do anything with the earth or change your diet or whatever, Wednesday would be a good day to start that, because it's the sign of Virgo, which rules health and it rules service. It's a mutable sign.
Hold on, Janet, can I just interrupt for 1 second? We're talking about Virgo, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a Virgo to take all this in. It's just also, besides being a Virgo, everybody else who we are in the Virgo cycle right now can benefit from what you're saying about this sign. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. But if you are a Virgo, it's even more beneficial.
Yeah.
But you see what happens, Monique, from one year to the next. It's the moon. That's another whole thing we can get into. The moon changes sign every 2 to 2.5 days. And wherever that moon is, that it has an influence on all of us, no matter what sign we are. So what I'm saying here, when on a Wednesday is a Virgo day, right? It's every sign has a day and so on. So on that Wednesday, that's called the Virgo day, and it's an earth day, and it's mutable, so it's adaptable, and it's practical and flexible and earthy, and it's analytical, and it likes detail. We're coming in this time of the year, as you know, is when we go back to school. Everyone has to go get organized. They're off of vacation. So Virgo is the organizer and the details. You have to get things done. This is a very good time to clear out your clutter, to organize your books, your home, whatever you want, because Virgo will get you doing that. And it's all about, they love to write, and they're very very mathematical, and they are the key word. They like to analyze, and Virgo gets a bad rep sometime because they see all the detail and people feel they're very critical. But without the sign of Virgo, we would be in big trouble, because Virgo keeps us in order and keeps us in all the little details. So it's very important. And so it rules work. It rules the work and the health and daily routines and service. You will find many people with the sign of Virgo, but not only the sign, the moon or the ascendant, working in the healthcare system, or working somewhere like old age homes, helping people, being of service, or they work in gardens. They work as helping people with gardens. Many very detailed. If you want a good worker, you want to have the earth signs are the detailed people, but Virgo is one of the best. And it rules your intestines and your digestion system. So this is very important, and the digestion is ruled by Virgo. Also, it is adaptable, changeable, flexible, and it's they love to have conversations because their ruling planet is Mercury, which rules your ideas and communicating your ideas out to the world. A lot of Virgos are teaching health or working in that capacity. Virgo rules the 6th house, which keywords for that house is work, labor, employment, food. Rules are, it works with our food, the earth. It's the earth goddess. It works in the medical supplies, and it works with hygiene, and it works with the doctors and all the small animals. You will know if you have any Virgo friends, most of them have an animal, whether a small cat or dog or whatever. So it is time to take action during this time. And do not think much, as you have a tendency to think. It's a month where you want to get organized, clear up all the things, look at your life, see what you want to release, see what you want to bring in new. Now, we have a new moon in Virgo on the 6th and the 7th of September. Depending on where you live, you can do it during that time of the full moon, new moon, or a few days before or after. It's a good time to do a ritual. It's a good time for new beginnings, to bring in what you want to bring in. So manifesting whatever you can try to, with the earth element, you bring in a plant or some flowers, and you bring in things that mean something to you, like your stones or anything earthy around you, and set up an altar with your candles, and then write out your new moon rituals, and then put them underneath your beautiful earth plant or whatever, and if you put them out with intention, these could manifest between now and the full moon. And we can go in more about those things later, but their strengths, they're very loyal, they're very kind, they're very hardworking and very practical people. And Virgo dislikes rudeness. It doesn't like asking for help. They don't like being the center of the stage, and they're always paying attention to the smallest details. And most careful signs, one of the most careful signs of the zodiac. Virgo, the sign of service and health, begins the harvest season when the fruits of the earth are gathered. This is a busy time of the year, and it symbolizes the delinquents of the Virgo worker. The earth goddess was common to all cultures who represented the earth and its phenomenon. Another thing we didn't mention, you mentioned about the feminine energy. Well, as you know, both of you, for the last so many years, we have been so dominant with the male principle, and that's okay. But now we're bringing in the female principle to bring us back into balance, and that will be in both men and women. And we need the female principle because we need the nurturing and the mothering. So that is why in the next few years, we're going to be bringing a lot of the female, as Toni mentioned, how the women are going to heal the planet. And so Virgo is ruled by the planet Mercury, which shows the strong mental quality. And if you thank your mind, it will relax. And if you thank your heart, it will open. If you thank your past, it will integrate. If you thank your symptom, it will heal. And if you thank your shadow, it will vanish. If you thank your life, it will transform. And if you thank yourself, the light will dawn. Virgo rules the digestion. So if your sun, moon, or ruling planet is in Virgo, or you could use some digestive aid, I will give you a remedy for a tea that's good for anyone that has any kind of digestion. You take a tea.
Sorry, go ahead. I have a question about the digestion for
Yeah,
Virgo.
you take a teaspoon of lavender flowers, and a half a teaspoon of fennel seeds, and a half a teaspoon of caraway seeds. Put it into an 8 to 12 ounces of water. Lavender and fennel and caraway are all known for digestive aids that can help dispel bloating and the feeling of overfullness. These herbs can also help ease the emotional state of the nervous stomach. See, every sign has different herbs to help our bodies.
Okay.
Whether we're Virgo or not, we all can get digestive systems, stomachs, but also you have to know your chart. You might be a Virgo moon or a Virgo rising or ascendant. So if you have either one of those, you are affected by the Virgo sign as well.
Now it's a Virgo moon, and since we have been eating as a population quite a lot of dead food, so to say, this would be an ultimately perfect time to start a regenerative detoxification, I suppose.
This is a marvelous time. Marvelous. This is your time to.
Yeah, because in the end, if you're looking from the Dr. Morse principle, then the GI tract that is your digestive system, is
Very good
compromised.
time.
It's very compromised with most of people, so it would be a perfect time. I understand now to start it right now, and especially on a Wednesday. which is-
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
And also, yes, these are all, that's what astrology, that's why I love astrology. It's my first love.
Mhm.
Timing is everything in our lives. Knowing the right, and that's what astrology does for people. It gives us the right timing, and it is coming out in the future. It's out now, but it's coming in a very big way because it hasn't been out in the open as much because of the religion and the past Piscean age. But now we're coming into Aquarius, and astrology is going to be very, very big in the future because it teaches us all about who we are and our connection to all other life on the planet, and particularly the elements and the earth. So
Agree.
it's very, very good. This is an affirmation you can do as well. I release what no longer serves me, my highest good, and welcome ways to live more simple. I let go of perfectionists and trying to strive, because Virgo, because of their analytical and detailed mind, can kind of be a little bit of a perfection, and that sometimes can be hard on them, can be hard on themselves. So we must let go of that perfection and trying to strive and just say, I'm grateful for this time to focus on serving with a joyful attitude. And I wisely choose what I put into my body, mind, and heart.
That's beautiful, Janet. I hope you are both okay that we end the show with this.
Yeah.
And keep the rest for the next podcast that we will be doing.
Yeah, there's lots to share. So I'm hoping I didn't talk too much or overdo it today in any way, or take away from you or Monique in any way.
No,
Oh,
Janet,
no.
this was all about you. So you have a lot to share, and I know when I keep quiet that you can fill up a few hours, but we like to keep, or I like to keep actually, the calls to an hour. We went 15 minutes over, but it's just easier for people to listen to an hour here and there. So we will do a next one soon. I will get this uploaded, and I want to thank you both for being here. I am going to stop the recording soon.
Yeah,
And,
I want to say thank you to you, Toni, for getting us together, and to Monique. Monique, I feel your love in your heart. I feel all your beautiful energy and how you're helping heal our planet and others. What is your sign?
My sign is Sun of Rising in Cancer and Moon in Capricorn.
And what's your sun sign?
Cancer.
Pardon?
Cancer.
You are a Cancer sun.
Yeah. Yes.
And your moon is in
Capricorn.
Capricorn, and your rising
is in that's it's on Libra and
Libra.
Scorpio. Yeah, Libra and Scorpio.
Oh, beautiful. Well, you know, Cancer.
Mhm.
I'll just take a minute. You know, Cancer is the nurturer
Yes, I know.
and the mother.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, that's all. That's beautiful. Thank you for that.
oh, by the way, my husband is a Virgo. I'm married to one.
And guess what? You are a Virgo moon.
I did not know that.
So there you go.
Okay, I'm going to end this now. Thank you both.
Can I suggest something before you end it? Jeanette, is it maybe an idea just to put in some keywords on the Virgo, and that people can mail you if they would like to have these keywords, that we put your mail address in the show notes?
Yes, and I can help. I mentioned earlier to Toni, I can work with people on 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half hour, an hour. If they have questions about their chart, about what they're going through, I would love to be able to help people in any way I can that way. And they can, she can put my email there. And
Yeah, for now we can use healthywithfruit@gmail.com,
yes,
and I'll make sure you all get them.
Yeah.
yes,
Oh, that sounds wonderful. So everybody who wants to have the keywords for Virgo, mail to
yes,
healthywithfruit@gmail.com. Yeah.
yes, beautiful.
Yeah.
And then next, I'll continue with Virgo if we have another one in the next week or so. And then when we shift from Virgo, we'll go into Libra.
Oh, wonderful.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, because I have a Libra daughter.
Yeah, beautiful sign. They are real goddess, ruled by Venus.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you both again.
I love you
I'm
both.
going
I
to-
love you.
I love
I love you
too.
guys.
Beautiful.
Have a wonderful,
Thank you.
wonderful day and a peaceful and blessing day.
And thanks for everyone who is listening, who's going or listening to this. It's beautiful. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, love
Thank
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.